Hello guys and gals, Buffalo here. I'm out for a walk this morning. It's a pretty nice morning out, February the 16th. Thought I'd bring the GoPro along and just do a conversation style, like a vlog style video this morning. So you guys that are here for the shooting, man, I appreciate you supporting the Buffalo's Outdoors channel. Won't be any shooting today, so you're dismissed. Those of you that want to hang around for the conversation and maybe learn a few things about Buffalo and how I think about things, then you're welcome to join me as I go for my walk here. So let's go ahead and get started. I've had several people comment or leave comments wanting to know why my videos aren't as involved this time of year, why the camera quality doesn't seem to be there. This is a cycle I go through every year. A lot of you guys, you know this, but I've gotten a lot of comments, so I'll try to address that now. Every year, winter comes around. The days are so much shorter. YouTube is not how I make my living. I have a full-time job. I have kids. As the daylight time gets shorter, it gets harder and harder to put videos together, and you combine that with the bad weather that we have in winter, usually wet, rainy weather, cold. I don't typically drag out the DSLRs and all that and put together a really beautiful video picture-wise, because it takes so much work. What people don't understand is a 10-minute video where I do a detailed review on a product or something. You know, that 10-minute video is 6, 7, 8 hours of work. That's not even the testing that goes involved before the video. That's just me filming what I need to film, going in, doing all my editing, uploading. It uses up a tremendous amount of time. And in the wintertime, I just don't have enough daylight to do that. And typically, I'll only get the video usually on Sunday afternoons, and I'm at the mercy of the weather. I get one day a week, and if the bad weather happens to roll in that day, I'm knocked out of a video. I keep the channel going with videos like this one, using this little GoPro or my Sony Handycam, you know, just to stay in touch with my subscribers and put all the content that I can out there. But yeah, I agree with you guys, and I've known this for years, and some of you guys that's followed the channel for years understand the video quality does go up and down. Spring, summer, fall, man, I'm all about getting my best video cameras out, taking the time to set all the tripods up, get all the good angles. You know, I'm all about that, but this time of year, I just do what I can. Okay, we're up high on the hilltop now. It's a little windy, so excuse any wind noise that the microphone picks up, but one of the things I wanted to talk about while I was out today was my accent or dialect. Growing up here in Appalachia, these hills and hollers that you see around, they shaped me. They formed me like a mold. And I'm just a reflection of growing up in this area, this environment. The comments I get on my accent are about 50-50. You know, some people really like it. It reminds them of a family member from back home. And some people really, really hate it. I mean, they really hate it. But I can't take credit for it either way. It's just a product of this environment that I grew up in. I'm not ashamed of my accent, not one bit. You guys that like the accent, you should have heard my grandparents. You know, it gets diluted with each generation. My grandparents could really speak the Appalachian talk, and even with my kids, I notice that they speak it less than I do. So it's kind of sad to see it go away over time. I didn't realize how different that I must sound to some of you guys until I got on YouTube. And you know, it's by far the most common comment I get is, where are you from? Where's that accent? Or, you know, down to the very despicable comments. Some of them so bad that I have to delete them. A lot of name calling and things like that. And there's a big problem with stereotyping the Appalachian people. For you guys that don't know, obviously probably none of you do, the Buffalo Range is about 4 miles that direction. Almost exactly 4 miles from this spot. And there's not a building, not a structure. There's one piece of property in between the Daniel Boone National Forest that we're in now and the Buffalo Range. So basically, this is my backyard, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I like it like this. But anyway, that's all I got to say about my accent or dialect. It is what it is. I wouldn't change it for anybody. It's just what it is, guys. So let's move on. You know, it just occurred to me that some of you guys may be interested in what I would carry on a typical day like this, just out and about walking the woods and the roads. So I'll show you what I've got here today. I've got this Ruger SP101. I've got it loaded up with 38 Special Plus P semi-jacketed hollow points. Put those Packmeyer grips on it. I really like those. Got it in a Safariland 567 custom holster. Very nice holster for carry. I've got an HKS double speed loader pouch with a couple of spare loads. Now, I don't know about you guys, I still have friends that wonder why I bother with carrying. They'll say things like, you don't need to take that thing with you today, just leave it at home. What are the odds you're going to use that? You know, and they're onto something there. What are the odds? The odds are pretty slim that I'm going to need this today. Very slim. But here's the thing, and they don't understand this. I don't carry because of the odds. I carry because of the stakes. Some people just don't understand that. All right, so my walk has brought us down here to the lake. As you can see, it's flooded, it's holding back a lot of water. There's a boat dock out there that normally we could walk out to. There's a ramp between those trees where people launch their boats and they use the dock to board. A lot of water. It's just been a terribly wet winter, and even last fall and last summer, the rain has just been relentless here in eastern Kentucky. Still pretty though, even with the flooding. You know, these walks really do. People say getting out and exercising relieves stress, and it really does. It clears my mind and makes me feel better. But I thought we'd talk about a couple of bad stuff that I've been seeing in the news. One of those is human trafficking. Now, where I grew up, particularly this human sex trafficking, where I grew up when I was 20 years old, I'd never heard of it. This area, you just never heard of it. But hearing it more and more, and I'm talking locally, right here, right in our area here in Kentucky, and it's very, very scary. It's disturbing. You know, as a husband and a father, I've got kids. I've got adult kids, and I've got kids still living at home, and it's just a very disturbing thing to have to even think about. But I've talked to my wife and I've talked to my kids, and you know, the advice I've given them, and some of you guys may disagree and may disagree strongly, but I've told them if they're approached in a parking lot or somewhere like that by an armed individual, and he demands let's say he demands their purse, I say give it to him. Give it to him. Create as much distance as you can. Get out of that situation. We can replace whatever's in that purse. Credit cards, IDs, cash. Get out of there. Same thing, if he demands your jewelry, hand it over. Get out of there. Where the game changes is if he demands that you get in that car. Now it's a total different ball game. I can't replace you. You've got to fight. You've got to fight. You've got to use whatever you've got with you. My wife carries, she carries concealed a lot. Not 100%, but she does pretty good with it. Of course, my kids can't legally carry. Not saying they don't carry, I'm just saying they can't legally carry, but you've got to use whatever you've got at your disposal. You've got to fight with your fingernails, your teeth, everything that you can do to not get in that car, even if it means them killing you right there in the parking lot. And that pains me as a father to even say that, to even have to think about that. But here's the deal, and this is what I've told them. You would rather go out that way than to live through whatever hell that these people have planned for you once they get you in that car. All right, guys, I hope I didn't get too dark on you there. Didn't mean for this to be a dark video. Just kind of shooting from the hip this morning and just speaking whatever's on my mind. So I'll try to end the video on a more positive note. It does look like Kentucky has a chance at becoming a permitless carry state. The Kentucky State Senate passed a bill, SB 150, Senate Bill 150, Thursday, that would drop the requirement to have a permit to carry concealed. So I'm very hopeful that that goes through. I've never agreed with having to buy a concealed carry permit in order to carry your firearm. I don't even think that's legal, but it is what it is. As I say that, I do have my permit. It took me years to break down and go get it, just simply because I didn't want to get it. I didn't believe it was right to have to do that, but I knew that sooner or later I'd probably run into a cop that was having a bad day, and I'd have my firearm on me and I'd get in some kind of trouble for not having a permit. So I did get mine back in 2009. Like I say, this bill would drop that requirement. Now, I can still keep my permit, and if you don't have a permit, you can still get one. You're just not required to get one here in the state of Kentucky. And what I mean by that is some people still want to get their permit so that when they travel to other states that honor Kentucky's permit, they can still have that permit. So the process will still be in place and you can still get a concealed carry permit. But if this law passes, it won't be a requirement. And it goes to the House next. It will definitely face some hurdles there. I've emailed my representative, the representative of my county, who will be voting on this. I hope other people are contacting their representatives and urging them to pass this bill. I'll tell you how silly it is. Kentucky it's an open carry state anyway. I can carry openly without any kind of permit, any kind of training requirement, or anything. And it should be that way. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just showing you the hypocrisy here. So I can carry like this, and everybody trusts me. I don't need anything, any kind of permit, any kind of training. However, if I carry like this, suddenly I need to purchase a $75 permit and go through 8 hours of training, which is mostly classroom time, listening to a bunch of lawyer talk. It is miserable, let me tell you. And the actual shooting training, the mandatory requirement is just almost anybody I know could meet that. Now, I'm not saying that some trainers don't go above and beyond. I'm just saying that the mandatory minimum requirement to get that permit is non-existent. All it is, in my opinion, is a money racket. And if it passes the House, it'll go to the governor's desk. and he can opt to sign it in the law or not. Don't know how that'll play out. Kentucky's very broke. We're strapped for cash in this state, and I don't know how much of an impact that concealed carry permit has on the local sheriff's offices and the state police and all the places that receive money from that. So I don't know what kind of politics is going on behind the scenes of whether it'll even pass the House or it'll get by the governor, or if he'll even sign it. That's what I'm trying to say. But there's a chance that Kentucky will be the next constitutional carry state, so y'all be watching for that. Be a positive thing in my opinion. Now, I'm almost to the vehicle. I actually see my car up here, but I want to give a shout out to the Boomstick Tactical channel. He's a Kentucky channel. He's an American patriot. Go check him out. He's actually a concealed carry instructor, and he's for this bill. So you know, that's pretty nice to know that he's the guy that teaches these classes, yet he doesn't believe that you should have to pay to carry your firearm concealed. So that tells me he's a good guy. I already knew that anyway. I've been watching his videos for a long time. He's got some fantastic videos on shooting techniques and drawing and grip and just a lot of stuff that'll help a lot of people out. So I want to give him a shout out. Go over there and actually leave him a comment. Tell him Buffa-Log sent you. That way I know these shout outs work. I try to do a shout out every now and then to a channel that I like or appreciate. And the only way I know if they work is if enough people go over there and say, hey, Buffa-Log sent me. And then I get a message from that guy saying, wow, you know, you sent some subscribers over. So do that for me, and we'll see if these shout outs work or not. That's all I got. I'm here at the vehicle. This is Buffa-Log, and I'll talk with y'all again soon.